Welcome to the Paranormal Highway. Today, we're taking a stroll along the Paranormal Highway with the Bigfoot. And we got a guest today. We got Danny Staton from South Carolina going to be coming. Today's Bigfoot Day. We're going to be talking about Bigfoot. We're going to be looking at some videos. Again, let me tell you guys one thing. When we play these videos, again, my channel, it's up to you on what you think it's real and what's not. We're not a channel about trying to call out videos. No, we show it. We talk about it. If you agree with it, right on. This channel is about opinions. We give our opinions, and we do it the right way. You give your opinion. If you believe it or not, then we move on, right? We're not a skeptic type of channel. We're a channel that believes that we know Bigfoot's real. We know there's cryptids out there. And we're all trying to discover the cryptids together. So again, let's all have fun. Let's all relax. Kick back with the video. Got a short little intro. And then we're going to come back on with good old Danny Staton. And we're talking Bigfoot today. So go find a bathroom. Go say Bloody Mary 3 times. And I'll see you back in 20 seconds. All right, Danny, introduce yourself.
Greetings from South Carolina. Danny Staton from the glorious state of South Carolina, where it always rains.
Man, before we start with the Bigfoot, I got to tell you something just a little bit strange. I don't know, strange. I'm not making claims here. Let me just say something really quick. So last night, my leg was bothering me big time. I had to cut down on some of the walks because I was hurting myself, I guess, because my leg was really killing me. So I had this cream, right? So I put this cream on my leg. Then last night I watched this movie, never heard of it before. It was badass. It was called Late Night with the Devil. And it's a show that's supposed to be back in, they made it where it's like a talk show of 1977 doing a Halloween special. But the movie wasn't the thing. Where I was watching the movie, and then I was feeling like I started like laughing. I wasn't laughing at the movie. I was like, I don't know why. I just felt like laughing. I felt like I was like getting high. Like I don't know, like that buzz high, whatever. Before you get too much, I feel like I was getting high. I had like those little laughs that sometimes like you're smoking a little green, you're in that middle laughing stage. And I told my wife, I go, man, I feel like I'm actually getting a buzz and I haven't done nothing. She goes, look, what kind of medication is that? And she looked at the medication that I put on the leg. There's no side effects about getting a buzz or anything. So it wasn't from the medication. So I sat back down on the couch, and I swear you not, my son was playing with the lights or whatever. He flipped the light off, and I swear to God, for like 4 or 5 seconds, I swear I saw like a ghost in my kitchen, like laughing at me. So I'm just saying, and guys, I watch a lot of horror movies. I'm not that kind of person where the horror movie is putting things in my head, but it was just weird because I just feeling this laughing and it only happened so quickly. Now, I did have my paranormal kit out because my daughter over the weekend and her friends, this is so awesome. They took my paranormal kit and they went to a house and used it to try to find ghosts. Maybe they brought something back. I don't know. But Eric got high on catnip. No, it wasn't catnip. And again, yesterday you saw me downstairs. My son took over downstairs today. He put all his computers down, so I'm upstairs. But that's beyond that. I'm not saying I saw a ghost, but I feel like something was making me like laugh or something. So it was kind of cool. So Danny, the Bigfoot.
You were watching Late Night with the Devil. That might have been what caused it, because when I saw it, I laughed pretty hard too.
The movie Late Night with the Devil, it's kind of neat in a way because it's supposed to be a talk show guy from 1977, like during a talk show, bring out a girl, possession the devil. They didn't know anything about it. I'm like, wow, this is kind of an original story. And they filmed it where it looks like it was kind of 70s. They made parts of it square. And then when like they go on timeout, like in real life TV show, it goes black and white. So, you know, it was, I thought it was actually not, I didn't think it was bad at all. I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. But beyond that, I know
if you happen to, let me tell you this real quick. If you happen to lose me, I'll try to come right back on. You picked the best time in the world to do it. We are having like the worst storm in South Carolina history right now.
Oh God! I on the news.
It's the one that run through Oklahoma and Louisiana and did all that tornadic damage, and now it's hitting us right now. And we're getting a lot of wind and rain and horrible weather here in South Carolina this week. It's causing my internet signal to fluctuate.
Before we go to your channel and look at some Bigfoot clips, I do want to tell people, if you guys remember, I don't, it wasn't yesterday, but the other day when we were telling stories and Patty Troy was telling her story about being in like in a haunted house. We just talked before this show. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, she's coming on my show tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about this story. So if you guys remember this story, it was on the other show the other day, and she's going to talk about that story that some of you wanted. Some of you in the chat were saying, God, I wish she was on your show so she could explain more on it. Well, she is. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. at nighttime, Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, I guess that's 10 p.m. So that's a rare. I don't do a lot of late night shows, but you know, that's rare. But I'm going to do one tomorrow night. Now, you open up another channel, Danny. You're calling it. Let me get it up here. You're calling it. That's my channel. Did I get the wrong channel up? Not sure. Here it is. Project Cryptid. So is this channel you're just like putting up people's Bigfoot footage so they can take a look themselves all in one spot?
Not just any Bigfoot footage. I'm seeking out what people would call the best video and the best audio of cryptids out there and putting it up on a channel based on all cryptids. Ain't no telling what videos you'll see, mostly Bigfoot right now. But if I get a Jersey Devil video or I get an alien video or something of that nature, I'll put it up on there. Right now, I'm trying to stay away from news footage and just go with the best actual videos I can find, or the more interesting ones at least.
Juan Truth that lives in your area says these storms are headed towards me in a couple of hours in Columbia, South Carolina. So my God.
Yeah, they just now getting here. I got the first of it just about 15 minutes ago. One blowed through here and about knocked trees down. And now it's like another one.
I saw how a bunch of tornadoes just destroyed a lot of towns in Oklahoma. Like, wow.
Yeah, it was very sad.
You know, it's just wow. And they're talking to this one guy where his company, everything just in one, you know, in less than 5 minutes, gone. Boom. Just like that. And we all know you never get your worth that the insurance companies are involved, you know, and we know that. So all you people who got hit, it just sucks to lose everything. It really does. Everybody says, yes, you get to rebuild. Yeah, but you know, your whole life, your history, you'd be like Danny, your house is gone, all your comics that you have. Yes, you can replace and buy more comics, but the ones you have has history with you. You know, so that's
see, in 2011, I lived in a big house in Greenville, and I had a big gigantic house fire, and 80% of everything I own burned up. I have but a tiny fraction of what I used to have. I know how that feels to pretty much lose everything.
Right for previous videos. Eventually, Deborah Haswell will be coming back on my channel. We'll pick a day. We're going to continue some conversation, paranormal conversations in the future. Love talking to her. So let's look at this here. Let's go here. I'm just going to look at some of these. Right here, you got Bigfoot, Ontario, Canada. I remember this one. So a lot of you who don't remember this one, let's check it out again.
See what it was like up here. Turn around. Lighting's bad.
Theater mode recommended.
What the hell is that? What the hell did I just see?
See, after the initial showing the original, I try to zoom it in as much as I can to make it more clear so you can get a better look at the thing.
Yeah, I remember talking about this video in the past. There's this.
You can see something big walking on the shore pretty clear. And what interested me was the size.
Yes. I was about to say that because any man can walk.
Because you're way out here in the water, and look how big it looks on land. And it's obviously 100 yards almost.
Yeah,
if not further.
Right there. I was just pausing it right there. It's how tall it is. That's intriguing. Is that what intrigued you? The size.
What intrigued me was because you got to remember in your mind, you're looking at something from obviously a pretty good distance. If you base the size of this bench in the foreground at about a 5-foot bench or a 5-foot rail, you're looking at almost 100 yards to the creature, and that would make it pretty big if you're.
Oh shit! I'm not on 1080. Thank you. I wasn't on Teddy. Thank you for that. I had to reboot this computer, take half of memory off because part of my issue was I ran out of memory. So I had to reset everything. So I must reset it my YouTube back to 720. So thank you for reminding me that. I forgot how all your settings get set back. I mean, God, I'm serious, man. This weekend I didn't want to lose all my stuff, so I had to transfer everything from a computer to a memory stick, so I don't lose everything. Because God, I hate when you hit the max on the computer and everything just crashes.
I've never had that happen.
So let me go back here. Maybe it'll look better because now it's a little clearer. So thank you again for reminding me. Well, it looks a lot better. Okay. Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Well, okay. So here's the two questions I'll ask.
I get a lot of videos and a lot of audio from up around Ontario, Canada. I've got at least 6 good pieces of video and 2 or 3 good pieces of audio. Some of it I hadn't put up yet, but there's a lot of good stuff coming out of that part of Canada right now.
Let me see your first opinion on this one. Now, first question, and that's not say it's Bigfoot yet or not. And when you're looking at that, can you tell that it's not CGI in? You think that's unfiltered, un-CGI, that thing walking across, in your opinion?
Yeah, because if you were going to do CGI, wouldn't you make it look a lot better than that?
Okay, then the second question is, so now we believe that it was a CGI and something did go across. That thing is pretty tall.
It could be some giant ass mountain man in a fur coat. You don't never know. Nothing's never 100%. But I would not go as far as call something like this actual evidence, but it goes farther towards furthering the conversation.
Dina thinks it's 100% real.
A lot of people think it's 100% real.
Well, again, like you said, we never know for sure because we weren't there. We're not seeing with our own eyes, and And I agree with Dina again on this. The body did look massive. So if we're saying that's not CGI, you're right. Like if I walk across, I will look small. This thing was to the tree.
Once again, I've stood beside Andre the Giant, and I know that people can get pretty big. So you never really know. That's why I have a 1 through 100% scale, and I never said 100%. That's real. But I've had some 80s, and that right there, I call it like a 50-50. And most everything I see, I call a 50-50 because there's a half always a chance, you know.
Well, listen, I said this in the past. There's probably some videos I feel they're 100% real. They probably turn out to be fake, and the ones I think they're fake might turn out to be real. You know what I mean? I mean, you just
the best. Okay, let's say the golden. I almost said the bad word. See, I've been working on controlling my mouth, you know, that Tourette's and everything. Because sometimes I drop the F bomb just like that, and it's pretty bad on a live stream when you're dropping the F bomb. So I'm trying not to.
James,
but,
this wasn't in America. This was in Canada.
Yeah, Ontario,
Canada.
Yeah, Ontario. I've had a lot of stuff come out of Ontario.
Yeah, and come on, James. Canadians aren't like Americans. They're less likely to lie like Americans do. So we got to believe Canadians a little bit more than we believe ourselves.
No, that's pretty sad.
I know. I love Canada. Like I said, I only live 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away to Vancouver City. Which
I've got I got control of my mouth. If you're going to take a video as the gold standard of Bigfoot videos, everybody would probably agree that would be the Patterson-Gimlin film. That's the gold standard. That's supposed to be a real Bigfoot. That's supposed to be the best Bigfoot video ever shot, right? In my world, I give that a 90%. 90%. There's always that small 10% chance it might not be real, but that's a 90.
It is because at the end of the day, those guys were camera people from Hollywood. So, I mean, you're right. You can't give that 100% because they are people that are known for special effects with cameras.
Take note. I also have another channel. It's a horror movie channel. I just happen to be an expert in old horror movies. I'm part of a good stuff community that deals with movies and classic TV and stuff, right? And I have looked at every old horror movie I can find featuring Bigfoots or werewolves or makeup and costume design. And I've yet to see anything from that time period that even comes close to the Patty. You know?
I know. I agree with you. But I mean, like if you read it on you did awesome research on that. See, like on paper, you're like, oh, this could have been, but you're right. You got to look at the time period. And, you and I mean, I was born in the 73, but we kind of know that time period, what was possible and what was not.
I was born in 65.
Now this one is, when Bigfoot attacks the Sunny Vader Canada footage released in 2024. So footage from Hunting Blind September 2023, how Bob hunting trip east of Band Park boundary. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, I've seen this one too.
When I first saw this, I loved it so much. I thought it was so cool when I first saw it.
Hey, Roger's 3 years older than me. So what do you think of that one?
When I first saw it, I loved it, but after finding out who the guy it comes from is and everything, and hearing some of the stories I've heard, I'm not so sure it's 100% might not be legitimate.
Yeah,
it might be something somebody fabricated.
I heard the same thing about this about Sonny.
Because after I put it up, people started leaving comments about the guy, and then I went and did a little check-in and found out he's been suspected of doing a few not too practical special effects, let's say.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, sometimes if you cry wolf too many times, and if you actually finally get the real deal, nobody's.
But once again, it's a great video, and it raises the conversation about Bigfoot, to a certain level. But like I said, when I first saw it, I was like, wow. And it still might be just people talking crap, because a lot of people we know get a lot of crap about them being hoaxers, and they may not be neither, but you don't never know.
No, I hear you.
All you know is what some goof on YouTube says about somebody else. You can't really go by that. You got to make your own decisions in this world. Anybody can say anything.
I hear you. There's a lot of people that's considered big in the Bigfoot community, like the ones who go to conference and all that. And it's proven a lot of them will disagree with a lot of other people's videos because they want to stay on top too. I mean, it's that's just the world we live in.
I try to be nice to everybody, and I try to treat everybody fairly. And whether they're hoaxing or not, I'm not going to be one of the people that comes out and gives them a hard time about what they're doing.
Exactly.
It's not my place. I'm not the YouTube police. It's not my job to police everybody's channel.
No. Oh, hell no. No.
I believe everybody has a right to put their crap out, and if you want to believe it, you can believe it. If you don't want to believe it, don't believe it. Make your own choices. Don't let nobody fill your head with crap about anybody else's stuff. It's not their place to. And if they're doing that, well, that's not real cool, man, because it's not your place. But
yeah,
I'm not talking to nobody specific. I'm just making a general statement, my personal opinion. As I'm so often well to know, because I'm incapable of lying, I have to tell the truth, even if it hurts somebody's feelings or makes them feel like a putz or whatever.
Yeah, I'm so sad that a lot of these Bigfoot cons won't let me be part of it, but I don't care. So let's see here.
Well, I've only been invited to one, so there you go.
The Bigfoot, the blue Bigfoot, aka the Kentucky Wild Man. All right, let's take a look at this one.
And I don't care if it's real or not; it's still one of my favorites because it's just so cool. He looks like the Papa Smurf Bigfoot. You know something else? Let me point out that in the part of Kentucky this video was supposedly shot in, there is some kind of nasty something in the water that actually turned the people in the area's skin blue. It was a real thing. It was on there's been a lot of videos made about the blue people of Kentucky. This is in the same area, and if it could affect people, it's very possible it could affect a Bigfoot too, could it not? But in the original tint of the video was a little bit different than this blue color. It was a little grayer or browner, I think.
I mean, you are what you drink. I mean, anything's possible.
I just threw the blue Bigfoot title on there because I thought it was cool. And it does kind of look blue to me.
Yeah, bluish white, some gray in there. And all that. Does this say like who put it out there? Like the person behind this?
It would be in the description if I could find out.
It's 2023, so technically we don't know exactly like what person.
I may actually have somebody's name who sent it to me on the thingy for the email, but I was asked not to include their name and who sent it to me or whatever.
Roger, you live in Kentucky, so Roger, have you seen this video? And if yes, what are people saying in the Kentucky area about this video?
But,
thinking about leaving Florida, going to check out Tennessee.
I'm still here. I'm just changing my hat.
Oh, no.
There we go. I had to get my Bigfoot hat on because we're talking about Bigfoot. Give a special shout out to Hans wearing his really cool T-shirt right now.
So that's the first time that Roger Belair has seen the footage, and he's from Kentucky. So that's
Well, I
cool.
recommend everybody subscribes to Project Cryptid to check, because there's a lot of stuff on here you've probably never seen before.
Yeah, no, I'll put that in the chat right now. I'll put that channel back in there so you guys check it out. Let's check out this one. Bigfoot is real. How much proof you need?
Oh, well, that's just a collection of pictures.
Elections, okay?
Yeah, I mute it. Yeah, whew. It's horrible music. I did not pick it. But these are some of the a collection of the pictures I thought were the best.
This one here. This one here. I mean, I'm not.
I know. I named that one Moggs because he looks like my friend the Muglion Monster Moggs on his little live stream.
I mean, could that just be some kind of wood log? It's just the way it's kind of like shaped, and we're kind of putting a face onto an object.
I think it might be a living creature. I really do. But you never know with pareidolia. That's a good call. It may be something like a log with some.
You know what I mean? I know it's hard because it's a picture. It's not a footage to see it move or not. But because I've seen logs, I've seen things cut a certain way where you look at it and go, "Oh my god, that looks like a face."
Yeah, it looks like Russell.
Let's see.
And once again, that's the Muglion Monster
of the Lion of the Wizard of Oz. It does looks like the Lion of the Wizard of Oz. It does. The minted camel laughing. Let's see here. It does. This Bigfoot's got back. Look at him showing off his ass. Here we go. And again, and I've heard this argument so many times by so many people, and I'm just gonna ask somebody again. I'm just gonna ask you again. I know you probably heard this 10 million times, but I think it's important that we bring it up. Why is that fuzzy?
I can think of a number of possible reasons.
But you think
lighting in the background, bad photography.
But with
maybe Bigfoot puts off some kind of aura that can't be filmed properly.
My flock's saying that's a better hat.
I thought so too. Well, the hair was getting a little warm in here.
But what I mean is I could feel what some people are saying. Like most every single footage is fuzzy. So I can see where people are like, man, technology gets better and better and better. Cameras are better and better and better. And we still can't get a clear picture. So I mean, I can see that argument, and of course, I hear the other argument that these things. Some people believe that a Bigfoot has a way of a gift to make cameras not take a good picture of them, like a protection for them in a way. I heard a lot of things.
But here's something to keep in mind when you're looking at this certain collection of video pictures you're looking at here, is this is really old. And this is before the advancements in AI and computer generated imagery. Most of these photos are very old. Been around for years.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying this is not real, but I can understand why some people do say, how come we can't get a clear picture? Again,
yeah, well, that would not even make my top 20%, 20% out of 100. So that's like a 19%.
Well, let's take a look at some more of these. Is that supposed to be like an ear right
that's
there?
That's a 1% because that's an ear. It could be a chimp. And that's a 57 or 60% because it's interesting.
It is. I mean, who says?
Look at the arm length.
But who says that can't be a real gorilla or not? I don't know if you guys. I don't know if this news have reached the United States, but in Washington, if you go on Highway 90 to North Bend, it's not that far from here. 4 zebras escaped, and they caught on camera like 3 zebras walked into people's houses. So what I'm just saying is sometimes crazy things do happen. Animals do get out. But right now they caught 3 of the 4 zebras, but right now they can't find the 4th zebra. So there's a town called North Bend. They might be having a zebra walking up, and they interviewed this lady. She was like, I've seen a lot of crazy things in my backyard before, but I've never seen a zebra walk up. And she was like, I don't know if you can walk up to a zebra or like, but I'm not saying that's a gorilla, but
I'm not going to go into how many times over the last 100 years that hurricanes have hit the state of Florida and destroyed zoos and pet stores and released all kinds of animals into that state. There's been twice that total zoos with gorillas and orangutans and all kinds of simians have just vanished off the face of the earth during a hurricane. Yeah. So there's very, very good possibility they could be anything living in the Everglades when you hear the word swamp ape. So you see, and that also carries over to other states that's had the same storm damage to animal enclosures.
See, I always have a hard time with these kind of pictures because that could just be the background, and it just happened that when you take a picture, it might look like a Bigfoot, but that could just be a simple background.
That could be a Todd Standing video too.
Yeah,
it looks a lot Todd Standing to me.
So those
man mask guy.
So a lot of times, like if I was gonna base on like if I want to go do some Bigfoot investigation somewhere, if someone handed me a picture like that, I'd be like, no, I'm not going there. Not based on that. I need more for me to go out. Not saying that's not Bigfoot, but I would need more because to me that just looks like a background. Like I said, you can look at a cloud a certain way, and that cloud becomes a face, starts looking like a shape.
Hey, I saw the Enterprise up there in the clouds the other day. I said, "Oh, it looks like the Enterprise."
And again, like I said, like I'm looking at this picture. Why can't I see the face? I mean, I see the blackness, I see the shape, but in the middle, like, why does it look like it's a reflection bench? I don't know. It looks like it's a reflection in the middle of that blackness.
That seems to be the standard with photos of Bigfoot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Let me see. And then, again, like I look at that. It's almost like
that's close to the face you see in the Patty video on a close up.
That's what I mean.
But whether
it's almost like this one here. Somebody blared out the front on purpose, so you can't even make a determination if that's a human or not. Like that white piece right there. Like that was somebody created that on purpose on it.
No doubt, it's a Photoshop nightmare. 2%.
Like again, we think some of these could be fake. It might turn out to be the real deal.
I think a lot of them might be fake. Yes, honestly. Or I hate to say that.
I love
that one. That was a little bit more convincingly to me of something.
Well, that one's more of a shape of a Bigfoot, and you can see more of a face here. And you're if I'm this picture is taken on the side, not in front.
And on top of that, it's a picture.
Yeah, again, yeah, it is.
What always bothers me when I see a picture like this is why ain't they 10 pictures from where it was walking through or a video instead of just this one still like that? It's the only picture you can find from that particular.
Yep.
And
like that one. That one's just. It's like. I mean, I don't know what year, but it does look like an older picture. But again, you can't.
I think that's 73.
Yeah.
72.
73.
Washington State.
73 is a good year. That was the year I was born. That one looks like a toy. somebody put somewhere. I don't know why. It reminds like a clay toy. Somebody just put it right there because that thing looks way too small, and whatever it's on, that thing in front of it looks way too big.
It don't look like a tree. It looks like it's a little toy sitting in the roots, don't
Oh,
it?
look at that. We have wild monkeys in Florida. They're taking over some parts. Really? Really? That's weird. You mean Dina, you can walk out certain areas and monkeys might be jumping out? Wow. That does look like a toy. It looks like like a toy chimp put in front of something huge and then
Actually, I thought it was a King Kong model.
King Kong model. I can see that.
Like the King Kong toy they used to have that come with that Godzilla and they fight back in 70-something.
What does it say? Not near, but in Akala. Okay. We have wallabies in the UK and Chinese deer with the fangs. Chinese deer with the fangs? Really? Is that real? Chinese deer with
I've
fangs?
seen them. Yeah, I've seen them.
Hold on.
I don't know if they call them fangs or not.
Chinese
I think it's called tusks.
deer with fangs. I gotta look this up. What the hell?
You can show a picture of that now?
I gotta show a picture of it. Hold on.
It looked like a vampire. It's a vampire deer.
Wow.
First time I saw one of them things, it really freaked me out.
Wow. I'm serious. I've never seen a deer picture with fangs like that. Holy crap. Wow. Vampire deers. Yeah. That's wicked. Like, imagine that thing biting you.
Yeah,
Holy
unless you want to eat one.
That's crazy. I never knew that. I never knew they existed. People. Let's just call it a Mandela effect. All right, it never existed before.
Here, there you go, buddy.
That's called
Bambi with attitude.
I gotta see what the next one is on this.
Go to the video, the one that says
Yeah, that's
Bigfoot chicken thief thing.
here. So these are the videos. Which one?
It says Bigfoot chicken thief. It's 3 or 4 back.
Bigfoot Ontario.
Oh, it's all the way back on the far side to the right. It says Bigfoot the chicken thief.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, I think that video is pretty cool. Look at when it runs across there. And you can see another one hiding behind a tree in the background. So there's 2 of them. And what I like about that is it's not just one. If it is fake, somebody had 2 people in costume.
Slow down and zoom. Okay. So they're slowing down. Hold on. Is he holding a skunk?
Look over there to the back. A chicken.
Oh, he's holding a chicken. Oh.
But if you look in the back, you can see one behind a tree over here, too. It's one of the few videos I put in the 80%, 83% category as a higher possibility of realism.
Here, let me. I'm going to pause it right when it walks. Hold on. All right, people in the chat, what do you guys think? Poor chicken. What do you guys think? What's your opinions? You think that's a person in a costume walking across? Or you think maybe there's a chance that big chance, small chance?
If it is people in a costume, it's of the level of production skill of that movie you saw recently. I can't remember the name of it. The one about the Bigfoot in the woods. Sunset Bigfoot or something.
Oh, Sasquatch Sunset?
Yeah. Oh my God, what a horrible What I've seen of it is dreadful. But
We need Connor to elaborate. 50-50.
I give it a higher than 50-50
It's
because
fake.
I've actually seen a Bigfoot. Unlike some people who can make that judgment call not having seen one, that I'm more qualified to say, yeah, that's a little bit closer. That's why I go 80%, 83%.
Yeah, I mean,
I've actually seen them and how they move, you know.
yeah, you got a lot of face of the Bigfoot, the elk wallow Canada video. What is this?
Oh, this is very good. You ain't seen most of these, have you?
I don't remember this one. No.
That's not what I try to do. I try to find older, rare videos that people haven't seen and put them out on this channel to give people a chance to evaluate the evidence for themselves. I aim this channel especially at some skeptic friends of mine in another group who I know are going to rip each and every video apart completely. I can't wait for the show where they go through my videos on this channel and rip them apart. You know who you are. I'm talking about you now. It's your job to debunk these videos. But that, to me, I like this video. But I think if it is real, it's more of a wild man or a hermit type situation than it is a Bigfoot. I really do.
You know, it is. It's because I wouldn't think Bigfoot would need to like hide behind a bush and do like a peekaboo. Bigfoot's not afraid of you. Bigfoot's not scared of you. If he's that close to you, he can smell you. You know, but I mean, like I said, hey, I mean, I don't know the whole science on the Bigfoot, you know, different clans, different this. But I would assume Bigfoot don't need to be behind a thin bush like that. A big tree, I can see, but that's such a thin bush. He doesn't need to hide behind it.
I'm open to the possibility they are different races of Bigfoot, like they are different races of people.
Oh, Dan, I agree with you 100%. I mean,
I think that the little short skunk ape thing you see in Florida might be a Bigfoot, but it's not the same race as the Bigfoot you see in Washington that's 9 foot tall.
well, you know, you got white race, you got the black race, Chinese race, Punjabi race, Hindu. I mean, you got so many different looking people on this planet with ourselves. Bigfoot doesn't have to all look the same. Or
exactly, that's what I think. I think they are different subspecies of the creature.
Yeah, and it depends on where they're born, where they're growing up in, the atmosphere, you know.
I also don't think everybody that thinks they see a Bigfoot. I think there's 90% mistaken identities in this world.
Yeah, you know, my feeling is the Bigfoot up in higher Canada, Alaska, probably have a lot thicker skin, hair, because, you know, it's a lot colder than here, some parts of the United States. You know, so.
And also the size may depend a lot on what their diet is. You
True,
know, in Florida, the skunk ape's probably eating snakes and rats, and in Canada, it's probably eating elk.
You know, I was actually having a conversation with somebody the other day. Somebody was asking me, Eric, why do you think Washington supposedly have like the most or most sightings? I go, well, first of all, we don't know who really truly had the most sightings because not all sightings get reported. But I said one thing about I said Northwest has an advantage is there's so much forest and land. There's places where humans don't go to. And there's so much water and rain and food for them to eat up there. Like you're talking about, if you're in Florida, they got different kind of food. They probably, like you say, eat off the snakes, off the whatever in their surroundings. Up in the mountains of Washington, they could pick and choose what they want to eat. I mean, it's juicy country up there, and there's so much thick trees. I used to tell people one of the difference between California mountains in Washington mountains. We go to growing up in California, you got trees, but you can walk in them and you can see a good distance still. But you go to Washington mountains, there's so many trees, it's so impact. You don't have clear views like you do in the California mountains. It's a lot harder to find, Bigfoot's, it's easy for them to hide out in the Washington mountains versus California. And I'm sure in Florida, they probably hide out in the swamps. Like you said, maybe that's why they have the smells, because they're hiding in the swamp lands. Because maybe they have like less trees.
Exactly. I totally agree with you 110%.
Washington is a huge hiking mecca. Yeah, I mean, again, grasshopper. You go all the way to California, 101 North California. Those mountains go all the way up to California, Oregon, Washington, all the way into Canada. I mean,
that's the Bigfoot highway right there, buddy.
Yeah. And then, like Colorado, mountains. I mean,
I don't think people realize, people think, when they think of Washington, they think about Seattle and they think about cities and grunge bands. They don't realize just how much of Washington is 100% pure forest. If you ever go up around the Mount Olympia or Mount Shasta areas, you're looking at thousands of miles of untamed forest to who knows what, and people haven't been there in years.
If people look at the map, you got
if they've ever been there.
If you look at the map of I-5, yeah, you do have Olympia, Tacoma, Seattle, forest. Then you go to the right, all forest. The next city is now all the way to the other end of Washington, Spokane. I mean, it's one big, like Montana. It's one big mountain area. I mean,
one big forest, just like in Oregon's worse. Oregon is worse. It's really got a lot of forest. All the way down into Northern California.
Oregon, you take away Portland, that's their biggest city. Medford's is small. Everything else is small. I mean, it's all forest. I mean, there's so many areas that people just can't get to. That's what's so intriguing. And, for me to get back in those areas, I got to make sure my legs are all 100%.
Yeah, you better have you a pack mule like Mad Jack.
Yeah.
Be planning to stay a few weeks because it's bad country back up in there. I actually did a lot of hiking around the Mount Olympia.
Oh, the Olympias, and then and there's also a lot of claims of Bigfoot's around Mount Rainier, and Mount Rainier is nowhere near the Olympic forest. There are so many different spots of forest.
Now, I spent about 15 or 20 days in the Mount Rainier area and a little bit longer around Mount Shasta.
Now, Mount Rainier might have a little bit more population. What I mean is a little bit more visitors versus Olympic, because Olympic is huge. And if you guys ever watch Twilight, Forks is known as like the rainiest place on earth in that area. Yeah, it really is truly the most rainiest place on earth.
That's why them sparkly vampires want to live there.
Exactly. And that's why Bigfoots want to live there, because it's exactly their type of atmosphere. Well, let's take a look at another one. I love these. Yeah, so many of them. Oh, I've seen this one. We all seen this one.
Oh, I'll get back. We can't. We see something moving on the hill above.
Yeah, we all seen that one.
That was cool though. You could tell it was really big. But look how weird it walks. I wouldn't put it real high on my possibility list though. Probably like a 20%.
Moving now.
To the right of them.
You know what's interesting is these people actually found wood structures and all kind of other stuff around that area.
On the right side of the tree.
But this is a far way away.
I don't see nothing. On the ridge.
Yeah, that's always a fun one to talk about and debate. Get people's different opinions. That's always been a fun one to have a conversation about.
Go back up real quick.
Sure.
Keep going. Back to the top. Go to the one with the writing in it. Hold on. No. It's hard to read as little as you got it.
2-part Renew Bigfoot, Bigfoot Ontario, the love
I
foil.
can't remember which one it was. Had that long armed video with this Bigfoot had this really long arm.
What is this one? Texas Bigfoot Video Enhanced.
Oh yeah, that's the metal detector guy.
I don't see
He was out metal detecting in a field,
Right there. It's coming up. There it goes. Where?
and you see this thing go across the field
I don't see
in the
it.
video.
Going through the trees right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen this one.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Well, you see it,
Yep, there it is, walking right there.
It's got the cone
but
in it, just-
once again, it's got like a snip in it that bothers me.
I don't see that.
It's right there. It's coming out. There it goes. Where? There he goes, right there.
I don't see him.
See him going. He's going through the trees right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, there he is.
So, problem is, he's so
He's got the cone
extra
in it, just like everybody on TV says.
dark. You know what I mean? Like, let's go back to.
Well, what bothered me is I like the part where it's coming across, and you can tell there's something big and hairy there, but it's got a snippet.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's like a second's been cut out, and I think during that second it turns towards the camera, and you realize it's probably a bear. I'm just saying, it's my personal opinion. I don't like camera footage like this that has snippets in the original footage. If you know when I'm saying snippet, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when
Where-
you're walking, it doesn't look proper.
Yeah.
Bigfoot shakes pecan 28 seconds. This has got to be an old one.
It's from the late 60s or something. I think it's from up there around where you live. I'm not sure. Don't remember. It gets a little hard to keep up with how many videos I put up wherever one of them comes from, because I have like 6 channels and upload 1,000 videos a month.
That's what I mean. You got the Alberta, Canada Bigfoot sighting video. Oh, I've seen this one.
Yeah, this one's kind of popular. Like I said, some of them people have seen before, but a lot of people hadn't.
Well, all because we've seen it doesn't mean everybody else seen it.
That is not a human.
That is not human.
That's not human.
That's the best part of the video is the kids' reaction. Can't get nothing more honest than a 6-year-old.
You know, because kids are young, they're fresh.
Spontaneous child reaction, going, "That is not a human."
That's not human. It's not a human.
But once again, it's one of them blurry, out of focus Bigfoot classics.
That is not a human.
Dina, she believes that one. I can see Dina's point too. I mean, like you said, compared to some other ones,
I'd rather have a 6-year-old witness than a 30-year-old witness. I'm more likely to believe the kid saw something than I am the 30-year-old saw something.
So again, people, if you're not subscribed to Project Cryptid, I'll put it in the StreamYard again. It's kind of cool that Danny finds them. The ones he might think there's some things to look at, and you can see all on one channel, because it is sometimes hard to search on different people's channels. They have this, they have that. So I mean, you have.
Well, a lot of the channels you'll see the videos, but then it's them talking about it for 30 minutes doing a breakdown on it. And on this channel, I'm just posting the raw video. You can do your own breakdown. I'm not going to sit there and tell you what I think and talk about it for 30 minutes and show little measurements and stuff. To me, that's just way too much.
So I already know this answer, but in your own eyes, what you witness in life, do you have any doubts at all that Bigfoot's real or not? Or do you
No, no doubt whatsoever. I'm not a what you call it. I'm not a wannabe believer. I'm an actual knower. I've seen a creature when I was young, and I've seen another one 40 years later. Whether they were the same thing or not, I wouldn't say, but I saw some weird stuff. When I was a kid, I saw 110% what can be described as a large, hairy, man-like creature in the woods. And it scared me so bad it ruined my life.
James, I will have to check out that channel. Well, James, if you didn't know who's behind that channel belongs to that guy right there, Danny Staton. That's his channel. That's one of his channels. He has his own channel, but that's one of his channels where he kind of makes a vault, and you go on there and you start take a look at the videos.
Next time I come on, we'll go back and we'll take a look at some of the videos I shot that are just as bad as the ones we've been watching today. Oh God.
Yeah. We'll do it again next Tuesday. We'll do another Bigfoot show, and we'll have you show us ones. The ones you.
That'll be a harder show because all my stuff's not in one place.
Yeah, but you got a week to get them in not one place, but send me the links. We'll just click, and go to them.
I got to find to send you the link. Now I always like easy.
I know.
Do 10,000 freaking videos looking for that one.
I know.
Got this 6-second spot where something freaking moved.
I know. And more videos you put up on your channel, it's hard to know. God, that video is 3 years ago. What was the name of it? You forget what it's called.
On my channel, if you take your time to go through and look, there's a video where I was doing a video. This is before I started doing a lot of paranormal stuff, mind you. This is when I was doing a lot of travel blog stuff or local town stuff. And I'm going through this old mill, just showing, basically I was showing an old mill that's been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. And while I was there filming the video about the mill, I pan around and I didn't even notice it. I pan around talking about it and I go on about my business. And somebody like did the email thing and like, dude, what the heck is that in your video running around on the roof? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I go back and watch it, and there's this little gargoyle looking thing. And this gargoyle looking thing goes shooting off when I pan the camera. It's unexplainable. I don't know what it was. And to this day, I don't know what it was.
I did try to look for like the latest news stories. And some of these websites, like News Story, I clicked on it. Oh, you must subscribe to the newsletter. I'm like, come on. I had to subscribe, So it's not easy trying to find a brand new stories and all that. But, we try. So again, people, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I don't have the link up. I'm going to create it because I just got a confirmation that we're going to have that one story that was sent to me. She's going to come on my channel tomorrow night and explain what it was like being inside that haunted house.
Wow.
They're taking care of her mom. So that's going to be fun. Thursday, I'm probably going to mix Thursday, half Mandela effect and half paranormal. I want to dive into some Mandela effects again. And then Friday, of course, Dr. Wu will be on this Friday. And Friday is just open topic. I don't like to have any kind of a category for Friday with Dr. Wu. What did somebody call it yesterday? Benefits with Dr. Wu.
Benefits.
Benefits with, or they said benefits with Bob. Then I said, no, we'll call it benefits with Dr. Wu. And all that.
Whoa.
So, and then next Tuesday, we'll do Bigfoot again. And if you know certain one of videos you want to show, let's do that next Tuesday.
I will see if I can find some really good stuff. I know there's some
I'll do my best from today to next Tuesday to see if there's any brand new stories that are out there, or any kind of brand new footage we could look at. Sometimes they're
We'll
hard.
go back and revisit Project Cryptid for a minute because you did not show the best video on there.
Okay,
really
we'll
did.
save that. We'll save that for Tuesday.
It's the one where the thing has the incredibly long arm. Remember that one? I think I even sent it to you on the phone when I put it up. I'm like, yeah, this one's good. But we can think of something to talk about next week.
Okay. We'll save for next week. So what we're going to do, guys, first
it's
of all,
smart people in the chat can go ahead and find it on the channel and go ahead and check it out. But you got to do that.
First of all, are you doing anything? You don't do a lot of live things no more at night, do you?
I did one live stream where it had the day of the eclipse, but I haven't been doing a lot of live streams lately.
And people like Dean is doing, send me your story, send me your stuff, like kind of like the video he sent me. Send me your stuff and we'll talk about it. So, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna end the show with let me get it ready. Hold on. I thought we'll end the show with my family story of our Bigfoot sighting. So we'll just end it. I'll have it on the big screen. So it's 5 minutes long, people. And that'll be our ending. So if you want to know about our family encounter when I was 11, but Daily Dan had his encounter at 11 years old, 11. Both our fathers, Air Force. And
there's probably a few more things too. We both got a brother named Robert that we call Bob.
We both got a brother Robert.
Both of them, and by the way, both our brothers are big, heavy-set guys with beards and bald heads.
Oh, tomorrow, there we go. Pat and Troy tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I'll create the link tonight. Are you the first child, second child, third child in your family?
I'm the seventh son of a seventh son.
7. Whew.
Yeah,
man.
And I'm not the last or the first. Like I said, I'm the 7th one out of 14.
Whew. So beyond that, people, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And this is the video of
on the fateful day of September 13th, 1984.
Oh, that's cool.
A significant event occurred that forever changed our perception of Bigfoot. For the past 2 decades, the Wood and Amp Ragsdale family had been embarking on their annual camping trips to Poison Meadows in Sierra National Forest, California. This particular location had become a cherished spot for us, akin to a second home. Arriving at our camping spot on September 6th, we settled in for a 2-week stay. As night fell, we gathered around the crackling fire, indulging in food and discussing the trails we planned to explore during our upcoming hunting expedition. During the course of that night and the subsequent 2 weeks, we began to hear peculiar knocking sounds, as if someone was tapping on the trees. However, being immersed in the wilderness, such sounds did not startle us. Our family had instilled in us a deep respect for nature and all its inhabitants, including the legendary Bigfoot. They taught us that by showing reverence towards bears, Bigfoot, and everything else in the woods, we would remain unharmed. In fact, they even shared the survival tip that if one were to encounter a bear rolling into a ball could potentially save their life. On September 11th, an incident occurred that left us all on edge. My cousin, affectionately nicknamed Bear Grease, ventured into the woods to relieve himself. As he attended to his business, he heard 3 distinct knocks on the trees, followed by a rock being hurled in his direction. Hastily pulling up his pants, he sprinted back to camp to recount the unnerving experience. Naturally, my brother Bob, known for his playful nature, couldn't resist making a joke about the situation, teasing Bear Grease for his hasty retreat without proper hygiene. We all shared a laugh, but deep down, the incident had struck a chord with each of us. From that point on, anyone venturing into the woods to answer nature's call made sure to carry a weapon for added security. And so the day arrived, September 13th, a date that had always held a certain enchantment for me. After enjoying a hearty breakfast, we finalized our plans for the day's hunting expedition. Dividing into 2 groups, 5 of us embarked in vehicles while the remaining 6 set off on foot. Our rendezvous point, scheduled for 5 p.m., was a location adorned with 3 colossal rocks. During our time at the rocks, my cousins Daryl and Bear Grease expressed their unease about walking through the Poison Meadows, feeling as though something was following us. They even thought they saw a bear watching them from a hill. The woods were quieter than usual, with only the typical sounds of the mountains. My brother Bob claimed to have heard trees knocking, similar to the sounds Bear Grease heard the previous night. After having some snacks and water, we got into our vehicles to head back to camp, driving slowly as we were still on the lookout for game. We heard some loud crackling sounds from the left side of the vehicles in the woods, but we assumed it was just bears and continued on. Suddenly, a large rock was thrown from the woods, and we heard my Uncle Johnny exclaim, "What the fuck is that?" We turned to see a Sasquatch standing on the edge of the road, making a high-pitched scream. The younger members of our group ran towards it, but it quickly ran away. As we chased it, the sound around us became quiet, and we eventually lost sight of the creature. Later, we found broken branches and footprints that we believed belonged to the Sasquatch. During our chase, my dad's friend Buck claimed to have seen a bright red and blue light in the sky, which he believed to be a UFO. However, no one else saw it. In the heart of Poison Meadows, there was no trace of the elusive Sasquatch creature. However, the adults caught up with us and sternly warned us against chasing anything that could pose a threat to our lives. My brother Bob couldn't help but point out that it was the very same adults who had initially assured us of Bigfoot's trustworthiness, thus implying their partial responsibility for the situation. We returned to our campsite and gathered around the crackling fireplace, preparing dinner while engaging in conversation. All 11 of us unanimously agreed that what we had witnessed was indeed a Sasquatch and not a bear. It was at this moment that my father took the opportunity to emphasize the importance of respecting nature. He explained that if the Bigfoot had desired, it could have inflicted harm upon each and every one of us, but it chose not to. We were all aware that the Sasquatch family recognized us, as my own family had been camping in the same location for over 2 decades. Following this extraordinary encounter, we felt a sense of security while camping in the woods, as if the Sasquatch were our protective guardians, assuring us of their presence. Although we never personally laid eyes on the Bigfoot again, we often heard peculiar noises and the distinct sound of trees being knocked, as if they were communicating with us, reaffirming their connection with our presence.